Hello, gorgeous. This bad boy right here is a Hypersynth HCard-101 multi-bank, multi-instrument memory card that works with the Korg M1, Wavestation, DS-8 FM synthesizer, and A1 synthesizers, and all of the rack mount versions of those synths as well. This is hands down the craziest memory card product I have ever seen, because unlike other memory cards that maybe you would need to format for each one of those synths, this little guy has 126 banks built into it, spread across the four instruments, the M1, the Wavestation, the DS-8, and the A1. You don't have to do any formatting with this. You just plug it in if you have one of those vintage Korg synths, and it works. It's crazy. So I'm going to plug the H-card into the program sequencer data card slot, boots up, and it goes to this configuration menu where you select what instrument it is. This is a Korg M1, so I'll just hit that. It restarts, loads the factory sounds, but that's boring. So why don't we go check out the synth bank here. Load from card, yes, I'm sure. Card and combination, and go to O2, which is Enigma. And it's as simple as that. Now I'm going to pop this out. I'm going to come over to my Wavestation and plug this into the program data slot on the back here, and then just set it up for Wavestation or Wavestation EX. This is an EX. The card resets, and now I can pick a bank. Let's go check out the Analog Freak bank, and we can check out this Resident Synth Bass patch. And it's as easy as that. So the HCard-101 is compatible with the Korg M1, the M1EX, the M1R, which is the rack mount version, the M1REX, which is the rack mount expanded version, the T1, the T2, the T3, the Wavestation EX, which is the one that I have, the Wavestation AD, DS-8 FM synthesizer, and A1 synthesizer. This touchscreen controlled card has 126 banks in it, which when you consider the cost of an MCR-03, which is the original memory card for a Korg M1, is an insane amount of value because an MCR-03 only has one bank in it. 64 of the banks are allocated for the Korg M1, 40 of them are for the Wavestation, 24 for the DS-8, and 16 for the A1. 73 of those 126 banks are preloaded with preset sound banks. 57 of those are from Korg ROM cards. And additionally, it comes with 11 Hypersynth categorized banks specifically for the M1. You can see we've got the Hypersynth Wins bank pulled up right now, for a total of 34 preset banks, also known as 340 presets for the M1 alone. And that's not counting all of the preloaded banks for the Wavestation, the DS-8, and the A1. This OLED display is extremely incredible. If you're seeing any flickering, that's just the camera refresh rate. It's a touchscreen, so you can move through the banks really easily here just by pressing this button. To protect all of these awesome presets, there's an additional layer of memory protection, write protection, right in here that we can turn on and off. We can rename these banks easily or copy them and move them to a different location in the memory card. If you're having any trouble, you can just scan this QR code and that pulls up the manual. This whole thing operates without a battery. You don't need a battery. It's just powered off of the synthesizer. The build quality of this card is excellent. It has a metal case that's a gray anodized finish. Unique to the M1 style synthesizers, we have format decoding. So you can see here we've got 100 programs and 100 combinations, but it would also show if we had 50 programs, 50 combinations, or 4,200 sequences, or it could even be a bank with 7,700 sequences. So that's a bank of only sequences and not presets. So you can see that easily on the screen here. If we press the circle button, you can see bank names, so you can scroll easily to the one you're looking for. So I've pulled up the Hypersynth Pads bank, which is bank 32 of 34 banks of presets for the Korg M1. And the fifth preset's called August. It sounds like this. Sounds really gorgeous. And what we can do if we want to learn some more about this is we can go to the square and go to capture program. I'm going to hit circle and it'll say press the card button on the M1 and select a program. And you can see it's pulled up some information about this patch. So we can see it's in double mode. It's using 2 oscillators, magic organ and strings. And then as I change patches, you can see it goes to brass zuff, the next patch, and that's using the fretless bass and magic organ again. Cagnus is using a single DW8000 voice oscillator. and so on and so forth. And this is more important than you might think because there's a bunch of different patches that worked with different versions of the synthesizer. For instance, the M1EX and M1REX had an additional 100 internal waveforms. So if you saw here under oscillator M1 internal, let's say it said 120 instead of just 20, well, that would mean the patch would only work with an M1EX or M1REX. Some of the patches that were released for the M1 from Korg also required a PCM data card that you would stick into the back of the synthesizer. If you need one of those oscillators, it'll say PCM RD on the screen there. So they laid this out very intelligently. So if you need a ROM card, it's on these first 16 banks because a lot of people still have those old ROM cards. So if you're going to use this bank, which is the orchestra bank, it's recommended that you also insert the MCS04 ROM card into the back. And that's just for the first 16 banks here. Bank 17 is the factory presets for the Korg M1EX. So you can load some of these patches into an M1, but not all of them because of the internal oscillator differences like I was talking about earlier. We also have the T3 factory banks A and B. And again, same thing. You can load this into a Korg M1, but some of the patches might not sound right. So yeah, I could keep gushing about all the things I love about the HCard-101. For me, it's worth it for the preset banks alone, just so you have a bunch of really cool new sounds for your vintage synthesizers, plus all of the ones from back in the day. It's just crazy that they were able to fit all of those synthesizers worth of sound banks onto one card. So if you have a DS-8 and a Wavestation, you can just use this one card, and it's as simple as just taking it out of one and plugging it into the other. It didn't have to be built this well with that beautiful teal OLED screen and metal enclosure. It just feels like a premium product at a reasonable price. So if you want to get one of these puppies, I put a link in the description as well as a pinned comment down below. Thank you to Hypersynth for sending this over for me to check out. If you want to hear how some of the sound banks sound, I did a live stream with the Wavestation in the HCard-101, checking out as many presets as I could. There's so many presets, there's no way I could cover them all, but it'll give you a taste of what some of the presets on the HCard-101 sound like. Continue to be excellent, guys, and I will see you there.